Hello students. So today I am going to discuss one important theorem, that is prove that a simple graph G has a spanning tree if and only if and only if it is connected. So this is the theorem statement. So what we have to prove is, so a simple graph having a spanning tree if and only if it is connected. It means first we have to suppose that let G is a simple graph having a spanning tree. Okay, that is our first supposition, and we have to prove that the particular graph is a connected graph. And conversely, we have to suppose that so G is a connected graph, G is a connected simple graph. Now we have to prove that G has a spanning tree. Okay, so that is what we have to prove in this theorem. So coming to the proof, let G be a simple graph. That is the common hypothesis in the theorem. Let G be a simple graph. So coming to the definition of simple graph, this implies G has no self loops and parallel edges. Whenever a graph is not having any parallel loops and any self loops and parallel edges, then we say that that particular graph is a simple graph. This is the definition of simple graph. Okay, so parallel edges. Now I am assuming, first assume that G has a spanning tree. G has a spanning tree, capital T. Okay, that is our assumption, right? So whenever we are saying that T is a spanning tree for the graph G, this implies I can write T contains every vertex of the graph G. This is according to the definition of spanning tree. Whenever we are saying that T is a spanning tree, then clearly that T contains each and every vertex of the given graph G. Okay, right. So I am supposing let A comma B be two vertices of G. Whenever A comma B are the vertices of G, then clearly these two vertices are also vertices of T, because T is spanning tree. So this implies I am writing A comma B are also vertices of spanning tree T. I am writing simply T. So since T is a tree, this implies
there is a path between small a and small b. So whenever you are saying that T is a tree and a comma b are the vertices in T, then clearly there exists a path in between a and b. Okay, so because since T is a tree, then clearly it is a connected graph. Okay, so that is what we have to prove. So there is a path in between A and B. I am saying that path P. Say P is the path between A and B. Since T is a subgraph, T is subgraph of G. This implies P also serves as a path between small a and small b in G. Okay, so once again, so we have supposed that G is a simple graph having a spanning tree. Now we have to prove that G is a connected graph. Okay, so whenever G is a simple graph, it does not contain any self loops and parallel edges. That is by the definition. So whenever G is having a spanning tree, then clearly the vertices which are having in G, those vertices should also present in T, spanning tree T. And we know that clearly spanning tree T is a connected graph. According to the definition of spanning tree, whenever we are saying that T is a spanning tree, then clearly T is connected. Okay, so it means there must be a path in between every pair of vertices. So, but we have to prove that G is a connected graph. Okay, so for that I consider two vertices of G. Clearly those particular vertices are also vertices of T, and since T is a spanning tree, of course it is a tree, clearly there exists a path in between small a and small b, and I am naming that path as P. Since T is subgraph, so clearly this particular path is also a path in G. Okay, because T is a subgraph of G. Okay, so whenever you are saying that P is a path between A and B in G, since A comma B are any two arbitrary vertices, I have selected arbitrarily A comma B. So like in this way, if you select any pair of vertices, clearly there exists a path in between those two vertices in the graph G. Okay, so I am writing that this is true for every pair of vertices A comma B belongs to G. So whenever we are saying that there is a path in between every pair of vertices, then that particular graph G is a connected graph. Okay, that is the definition of connected graph. So clearly there exists a path in between every pair of vertices. Then we say that that is a connected graph. So this is the first part. So in the first part, we have supposed that G is a simple graph and also G having a spanning tree. Now we have to prove that G is a connected graph. That is what we have proved. Okay, so coming to the second part, now conversely, suppose that G is a connected graph. Okay, so in the second part I am supposing that G is a connected simple graph. Okay, so now we show that G has a spanning tree. So converse part, I have supposed that G is a connected graph. Of course, we are also having G is a simple graph in the common hypothesis. It means G is a connected simple graph. That is our supposition in converse part. So in the converse part, we have to prove that G has a spanning tree. Okay, so if G, whenever you are saying that G is a connected simple graph, if G is a tree, there may be a possibility to say that G is a tree. Whenever we are having a connected graph, it may be a tree or it may not be a tree. If the G is a tree, then clearly it can be a spanning tree. Can be a spanning tree. Okay. So what I am saying is, whenever we are saying that a particular graph is a connected simple graph, then clearly it may be a tree or it may not be a tree. Okay. So for example, I am writing one example for a connected graph need not be a need not be a tree, and a connected graph may be a tree. So this is one example that this is a connected graph which is not a tree. And I am trying one more example. So this is also a connected graph which is a tree. Okay. If you named the vertices as A, B, C, D, clearly this is a connected graph. Okay. So here from A to D also we are having a path for any pair of vertices. If we consider any pair of vertices, clearly there is a path in between those two vertices. Whereas coming to this example, here we are having a cycle. Okay. This is also a connected graph, but here we are having a cycle. So that I am writing. So whenever you suppose that G is a connected graph, then it may be a tree or it may not be a tree. So first I am considering that if G is a tree, then clearly it is a spanning tree. Okay. It can be a spanning tree. So if G is not a tree, so when will we say that the G is not a tree? Whenever it is having a cycle, then we say that that is not a tree. So in the example, if you observe that, so one example is for tree and the second example is for not a tree because it is having a cycle. So that I am writing, if G is not a tree, then it contains a simple circuit. It means a cycle. So whenever we are having a circuit, then only we say that that is not a tree. So that I am saying, if G is not a tree, then clearly it contains a simple circuit. So now what we have to do, that simple circuit becomes a tree means, so now we have to remove. Now remove an edge from one of these simple circuits. One of these simple circuits. Okay. One of these simple circuits. So here I am saying that simple circuits. Why? Because means, so there may be a possibility of existing one or more cycles. Okay. So that I am saying that simple circuits. Okay, not circuits. So this implies whenever you remove an edge from that simple circuit, then clearly it may be a tree or it may not be a tree once again. So if you observe this particular example, if I remove the edge AB or AC or CD or BD, any one of the edge from this graph, then clearly it is a tree. Okay, for understanding, if you remove a particular edge from this circuit, then clearly it is a cycle. Then clearly it is a tree. Okay, sometimes maybe we are having one or more cycles. Okay, in a particular graph. So for that we have to do, what we have to do is we have to remove one more edge from that simple circuit. So we have to remove until the edges, we have removed the edges until it does not contain any cycle. We have to continue this procedure until that graph does not contain any cycles. Then we obtain a tree. Okay, so that is what I am going to write. So simple circuits, this implies the resulting graph the resulting subgraph has one favor edge, means one edge will be reduced, but still contains all the vertices of G and is connected. So the best example for this statement is the above example here. What I have drawn on the right side, that is the best example. If I remove the edge AB, or anyone from this graph. So clearly that is a connected graph. Okay, but we are having a one edge less than the original graph. Okay, that is what I have written here. The resulting subgraph has one favor edge but still contains all the vertices. So we are having all the vertices, 4 vertices, and also the graph is a connected graph. Okay, so whenever you remove an edge from the simple circuit, then clearly that is a connected graph, and also the number of vertices in the given graph and in the subgraph are same number. Okay, but the number of edges, coming to the number of edges, so we are having a one edge less than when compared to the original graph. Okay, so after this, if this subgraph is not a tree, once again I am saying that, once again after removing one edge also, if you are still saying that it is not a tree, it means we have to remove some more edges to form a tree. Okay, it means we are having one more cycle in the graph, so that we have to remove one more edge in order to form a tree. So that is what I am writing. So if in this subgraph, if this subgraph is not a tree, then it contains a simple circuit. That is the reason. If you are saying that that is not a tree, then clearly it contains a circuit. It means a cycle. So as before, remove an edge from the circuit and continue the process until no simple circuit remains. Okay, so which is possible, because G has finite number of edges. G has finite number of edges. Okay, so yes, in the above example, if you observe that particular example, so if you clearly this particular example, this say this is G1 and this is G2. So clearly G1 is not a tree because we are having a cycle. If you remove one particular edge from that graph, then clearly it is a tree. Okay, it is a tree, and also it is a connected graph. Okay, suppose if you are having a graph in this way, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so coming to our explanation, so this is a graph G. Okay, here we are, if you observe this particular graph, I will say that we are having more than one cycle in this particular graph. So if you remove one particular edge, that is AB, so one particular graph AB, one particular edge AB, then clearly it is not a tree because we are having one more cycle. So if you remove the edge CD, so AB and CD, then it is a tree. Okay, it means depends on the graph. So depends on the graph whether we have to remove one edge or more than one edge to form a tree. It depends on the problem. Okay, that is what I have written in the theorem. So after the removal of one edge, if it is a tree, then clearly that is the spanning tree. Okay, so after the removal of one edge, if it is not a tree, it means we are having one more circuit in that graph, so that we have to remove one more edge, so in order to form a cycle. So we have to repeat this procedure until so there are no simple circuits in that graph. Okay, so for that explanation, I am giving you one example, and this is the particular example. So if you remove any two edges, so that is I am removing AB and CD. So then clearly, so this is a connector graph and also a tree. Okay, right. So I am writing. Finally, we obtain a subgraph T of G, which is a tree. Definitely we will obtain a subgraph T of G, which is a tree. Okay, so this tree, therefore, so this tree is a spanning tree. This tree is a spanning tree. So since, why I'm saying this is a spanning tree means, since it contains every vertex of G. Every vertex of G. So according to the definition of spanning tree, so if you want to say that is a spanning tree, first of all, it should be a tree. And the second point is it contains every vertex of the graph. If these two conditions are satisfied, then we say that that is a spanning tree. Here, we are also saying that it is a tree and also it contains every vertex of G. So hence G is, hence that is a spanning tree. That T is a spanning tree. Hence the proof. Thank you.